wanted to go through making the simplest CRUD application that I could, where I create, read, update and delete records in the database using a Flask application. So I'm going to do one about phones. I've already made the database, so I've got a single table called phones, and it's got two fields: the phone ID, which is a primary key, auto increment, and I've got phone name, which is a simple text field. So I want to be able to access those in my Flask application and do those database operations. So I'm going to create a blank Flask web project called phones, or phone manager, I'm going to call it, and I'm going to put it in a new folder. That's just good practice. Phone manager. I think I'll make that capital P because it's the name of the application. Phone manager, select folder. Same here, I'll make the capital P. You'll notice I'm following conventions all the way through, and indeed even in my database here it's all lowercase all the time and underscores. It's just easier if you're consistent about doing that. So I have my app. Let's just do the simple stuff first. I don't want that comment at the top. I don't need renders a simple page. And let's do the other things that I need here. I want to have a folder called templates. That's always going to be the first thing we add. And while I'm here, I'm going to add a folder called static. Probably not going to put anything in it right now, but I'm just kind of going through some good practice stuff. We should just do these things. And in templates, I'm going to add the files that I'm going to need. So these are all going to be HTML files, new item, and HTML, where's HTML? There we go, HTML page. So one of them is going to be phone view underscore add, and then I'm going to also have phone add, good, and I am going to have phone edit. And I'm going to put in phone delete here. There's a good chance I won't actually use it right now. I'm just kind of doing it for completion reasons. Because what I'll probably do just for this simple demo is just have it so when you click delete, it just deletes it without having to go to a page, and then takes you back to that phone view, so it'll be a redirect. So those are all in the right place. It's always a good idea to got my views over there, I've got my app over here. So what are the things I need to do? Well, I'm going to go and grab some code from places that I've got already and adapt it. And this is kind of the point for you as well, is that you are going to have something like this, which works just fine, and you're going to be able to just grab what you need when you need it. First thing I want is I want to be able to access the database. So I'm going to grab that, put that right at the top there. And it's going to be called get connection. This is the right IP address for what I'm doing. Demo user and password are my correct ones. It's not resource manager, it's phone manager. Pretty sure it's phone manager. So we now have that in place, good to go. And I think what would be good now is we should have a look at the data. So we've got this app.root / and this is going to be def phone view. Don't just call it hello. And we're going to have a return at the end, which reminds me that up here we should probably add in the ones that we're always going to be using. Return render template is going to be pretty common. Redirect is going to be pretty common. And we're also going to have forms and arguments being passed, so request. And we will also want PyMySQL, because we're going to be doing database stuff. Should have thought of that before. Good. So this is all absolute boilerplate standard stuff. And down here we're going to return the render template of phone view.html. I've chosen not to go with index in this case. I should just quickly talk about my choice over here. I've put them phone add, phone delete, phone edit, phone view, which means that if I add more templates for a whole bunch of other things, these are always going to stay grouped because they're always going to be in this list all together under phone. Just makes it a little bit more organized when I'm trying to find the files that do the things that I want to do. And so return render template. Now what are we going to need to do? We need to give it some data as well. I'm going to look ahead and say I'm going to pass it phones, and I'm going to give it a list of phones. Haven't made it yet. Let's make it now. Now I need to do a connection to the database and spit that data out, and it's such a boilerplatey thing to do, so I'm just going to kind of grab it from here, making sure I know there's a whole bunch of stuff wrong with it. Doesn't matter, I can adapt it, and of course being I'm pasting it in automatically gets the indentation wrong. So this gets connects me to the database, and I have select start from resources. Let's make that phones, and it executes the SQL, does a fetch all on it, and then we need to say get those phones into a list. I can't remember what format it's in. I think it's not a helpful format, so we just turn it into a list, which we know Ginger can cope with. That will actually probably do this. So yeah, it's making a connection, using that connection to get the data, just doing a little bit of massaging the data and then spitting that off to the template. So let's go into phone view.html, and in phone view.html, let's do this properly as well. We're going to put it into a table. So using the autocomplete stuff, table, we're going to have a table heading, and we're going to have some th rows. The first one is going to be phone ID. That's not what I wanted to write. Phone ID. And the next one is going to be phone name. And I'm actually going to have a third one, which will be I'm not going to use it just yet, phone operations. So it'll be like the edit, delete, and so on. So that's the head done. Then we need a body. And you know what? I absolutely forgot to put a table row in here, didn't I? That's terrible. So N, Control X, N, Control V, easy fix. So table head, table body, table row, table data, and this will be, oh actually we can't do this yet, can we? We need to have a loop. So we've got to say for phone in phones, and then the TD is going to be, in the first place, the phone ID. See, it's so much easier if you just keep consistent with naming and case sensitivity, is you never have to second guess, did I put it lowercase or uppercase or whatever when I pass the data. So phone, did I do it camel case or underscore? Just always do underscore. Phone name, and we're always going to put TD, we're not using this yet, but edit and delete are going to be things that we add in a bit. And then at the end of that TR, we're going to put %end4 and close that off. What are the odds that will actually work? You know what, let's just save it and go. Pretty low odds, to be honest. Yep, that's fine. We're used to errors. Unknown database, phone manager. Did I not call it phone manager? Did I call it demo user phones? See, should have been more consistent. So back into app, demo user phones, save one more time. Another error, no surprise. Phones reference before assignment. So that was here, wasn't it? So SQL select star from phones. This should have been phones. There we go. Again, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you're reusing code. You get some things wrong. Right, I think that's enough for the first video. Next video we'll do the edit and delete, and then we'll be done, won't it? So how do